My name's Engineer Christine Ogut. I'm a Deputy Director, Safety Audits and Inspections with the National Transport and Safety Authority. Today we have launched an operation to sensitize members of the public on safety issues and also to look at the compliance levels of the vehicles, whether they are roadworthy. And one of the things that we look at when we are undertaking these safety operations is if it's a public service vehicle or a heavy commercial vehicle or any other vehicle, is it roadworthy? For the PSVs, the law requires that they have the speed limiters that are transmitting data. Today, most of the PSVs that the police have impounded are not transmitting data. Speed is actually what is the leading killer of fatalities on our road. Speed is contributing to up to 70% of the fatalities on our roads. And when the speed limiter is not working, what that means is that the driver is able to speed, and when he's speeding and an accident occurs, then we have very high fatalities. We also would like to condole with the families that you know very well we had 2 accidents this morning, one at Ntsa Bridge and there was the one that was in Kericho last evening. And all we are trying to do is we are trying to arrest the safety situation on the country. As we look at the data, the number of fatalities as we speak now have increased. If we compare the same period now and last year, the number of fatalities have gone up by 5%, and the highest number being pedestrians are the ones who are being knocked, followed by passengers, and then drivers, and then the border riders and the pillion passengers. So I am ready to take any interesting comment, and thank you for it. One thing this public doesn't know is that NTSA every day analyzes most of the fatal accidents that occur. And when we analyze these accidents, we then do what? We make recommendations. We first identify what are the safety issues, and some of the key safety issues are the unroadworthiness of most of the PSVs on our roads. And one of the issues which I mentioned was the issue of the speed limiter, and the police will tell you that most of these vehicles that have been impounded have issues of the speed limiter not transmitting data. So it is not reactive. Every day we analyze, we send recommendations, we summon SACCOs. On a week-to-week basis, we can summon like up to even 6 SACCOs to just come educate their drivers on issues of safety, sensitize their drivers on issues of safety, and educate them. So it is a day-to-day activity. There's nothing unique about this operation. It's countrywide, and it is countrywide because as the authority in charge of safety, we are concerned that the number of accidents are on the increase, and unless we do something to arrest this situation, then the numbers will increase. We are already 5% above. We are at, by 3rd of April, we had 1,214 fatalities. And when you compare the same period last year, we had 1,143. That difference is that 5% I'm talking about. And if the trend goes on, by the end of the year, the benefits we had last year, where we had actually a reduction in the number of fatalities, will be lost. So the purpose here is not really to penalize the drivers, but as they are being told what mistake, you can imagine that the data that is installed in the speed limiter for a year costs only 600 shillings a year. That is how much airtime they need to have on the speed limiter so that it can transmit data. And at NTSA, we have the Intelligent Road Safety Management System that is able to monitor the vehicles. So as long as these PSVs are integrated on our system, as we are stopping them, the record is also there at NTSA that that specific vehicle was not transmitting data. You at this roadblock, what action did we take? So we are educating the drivers, we are sensitizing them. Some have even gotten in touch with the speed limiter vendors who now have loaded data. But even when they load data, as long as it's not transmitting data, as long as it is not integrated onto the Intelligent Road Safety Management System, which is really going to be a change maker in this country, then speed is still going to kill. And remember, the PSVs carry majority of the passengers.
Apart from
as we speak now, the standards that address issues of speed limiters is the KS 2295, which is under review. We have a committee that is looking at the issues, because for a speed limiter to be licensed, the first thing, when they bring the gadget, it is subjected to tests by the chief mechanical engineer. It is also subjected to tests at KEBS, and then finally NTSA, when it's actually now being installed into the vehicle, and those tests ensure that the speed limiter works. At that point, when all these vehicles come for the annual inspection, I can tell you something, the speed limiters normally are working. The ones that are not working do not go through the annual inspection, because our inspectors are actually able to actually print out the speed data 72 hours before that. Now, if the speed limiter is not serviced by the speed limiter vendor, or if it doesn't give it adequate data to transmit, then definitely it will not transmit data. So there are checks and balances, and as NTSA, we keep on holding sensitization workshops with the speed limiter vendors to educate them on the importance of ensuring that they give quality service, because for any speed limiter that is installed by a vendor, he gives a 1-year guarantee that he will ensure that it works. Because remember, the vehicle owner has actually paid for that service, and it is the duty of the speed limiter vendor to ensure that it is transmitting to the NTSA server.
Apart from overloading,